Hey, welcome back to the channel. It's good to see you guys. Looking good as usual. Alright, so today is Tuesday, as yesterday was Memorial Day, so I did not post yesterday because I was chilling with my family for Memorial Day. And I hope you all had an awesome Memorial Day weekend and did some relaxing and whatever floats your boat. So that's awesome. My Memorial Day weekend was pretty good, and have a story time to tell you because of an experience that happened during the Memorial Day weekend. So we're gonna go into that right now. So let me rewind back though. About this time last year, I think it was last July or so, that so last July I went to go visit my dad and my brother's graves and take some photos and things of that nature. And so while I was at their grave site, I was walking around and I decided to take a look at the neighboring grave sites, you know, in the vicinity of my dad and brother's graves. And so while I was walking around, I was about 25 feet away. A name popped out at me that was on a headstone, and the name was very familiar to me because it was a name of somebody that I had grown up with in my childhood neighborhood. And so I'm looking at the name, I'm like, is that the same kid that I grew up with and everything? And this person had died in 2019. And so I'm like, man, that's crazy that, anyway, so I wonder if it's the same person. So what I did is I googled their name, googled the date and the city and everything, and it all, the obituary came up and everything, and I was just like, oh my gosh, that's the same person that I grew up with. And I can't believe that, you know, they'd already passed away already. So I was like, wow, that's unfortunate, really crazy. But anyway, so, you know, that was their grave site, is about, like I said, 25 feet away from my dad and my brothers. And so anyway, that was that. And then fast forward to now, present time, and my wife and myself and our grandchild, we go to put flowers on their graves for Memorial Day. And we go there, and I noticed, you know, about the same area where I had noticed this previous friend of mine, his grave, there was a group of people standing and talking amongst themselves, and so I just kind of kept on glancing over, and I was like a little bit within earshot of their conversation, so I can sort of hear what they were talking about, and it sounded as though they were beginning to wrap up their conversation, and you know, just kept on prompting me, like, say something to them, say something to them, say something to them. And so they were getting ready to depart and leave and everything. And so I just kind of butted in and said, excuse me, are you blank family? And they're like, yeah, we are. And so I told them that, like, I know that person, called them by name and everything, and grew up with them in the same neighborhood and all this. And so they were like, it was kind of shocking and surprising to them. And so we had a brief conversation about how I knew them and, you know, the neighborhood that we were both raised in and everything. And I gave them my name so that they could talk to his siblings and said, hey, we saw Daniel at the cemetery and he said to say hi, whatever, you know. And so it was kind of a really weird serendipitous situation. And I'm just like, man, this world is too small sometimes. It's such a small world. So anyway, so we had a brief conversation with them, and they left and everything, and then it wasn't like 1 minute, 2 minutes later, but my oldest brother and his wife and family came walking up to the grave site where we were at with my dad and my brother, and they had flowers that they were going to put on the graves as well. And you know, so keep in mind, none of this was planned, none of this was scheduled. It was just, this just all happened. And so got to have a nice chat conversation with my brother, his wife, and his adult kids and everything. It was a kind of really cool impromptu family reunion. I haven't seen him in quite a while. We don't get together as siblings really ever. We're a weird family that way. We should, but we don't. So I haven't seen him in a long time. So it was good to hang out with him, good to see him. And we text regularly, so we're in constant communication, him and I, and so that's a good thing. But just hadn't seen him in a long time. And so I had a good visit with him, and everything was cool. We put all the flowers, took photos. It was a great time. Then we departed, went our separate ways, and my wife and I, we went to a party that we were on our way to, and my brother, he went and did what he was planning on doing, and it's just, maybe it's a sign that we're getting old, getting on in years when you're meeting people at the cemetery. I don't know, maybe that's what that sign is. Like, you're getting old when you're meeting people at the cemetery. I don't know, small world, it's crazy. But anyway, I usually want to talk about the financial things, the first video of the week, but since Monday was Memorial Day, today's Tuesday, kind of the whole schedule is off, and I have a decent story to tell you about my Memorial Day weekend. Voila, there you go. Story for you for Memorial Day weekend. Hope you liked it. If you did, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We'll try to get back onto a regular schedule and get some regular content out to you. But anyway, that's all I have for you today. You guys are awesome. See you in the next video.